Sir, please, for the purpose of this interview, we would like you to kindly introduce yourself to our reading audience.
Tofa, OON. I am Makaman Bichi and the district head of Tofa local government.
Mashallah, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought us to a very historic moment in the lifetime of our cultural heritage and history, where we are going to witness a twin event of the marriage of His Royal Highness, the Emir of Bichi, and His Excellency, the Executive President of the son of the Executive President of Nigeria, Yusuf Mohammed Buhari. So, how do you feel? How elated do you feel at this kind of auspicious occasion?
Well, obviously, this is a very momentous occasion, and somebody working with His Highness, the Emir of Bichi, Alhaji Nasir Ado Bayero, I must say, I'm very elated, excited, and happy because of the two events happening at the same time. First of all, His Highness is giving away his daughter on marriage to the son of our President, Mohammed Buhari, and at the same time, he's going to be given his staff of office as the second Emir of Bichi, and which culminates into the final stage of his ascentment to the throne of Bichi Emirate.
MashaAllah. Being one of the close confidant of the Emir, how will you describe the Emir, his personality, his courage, and commitment to people in general?
Well, obviously, you know, it's always difficult to comment on your boss, but nonetheless, is to say one thing is very clear. Emir of Bichi, Alhaji Nasir Ado Bayero, whom I had known for long before he even became the Emir of Bichi, he's a very generous person. He's a very dedicated person. He's a very honest person. And above all, he's very social. He mixes with all kinds of people from all creeds. And he is really a sort of, what would I say, he's a very good person to deal with. And I must say, I'm very happy for him.
MashaAllah. So now let's get back to you being the Makama of Bichi. You know, for a lot of us who are upcoming teaming generations, we must have left culture and history behind, and we might not be very much well acquainted with some of the traditional titles and what have you. So elaborate to us, what is the role of the Makaman Bichi?
Okay, the Makaman Bichi, or anywhere I hear of Makama, is really, first of all, a kingmaker. All in the Usmaniya heritage, Makama is a kingmaker. Secondly, Makama is a member of the Emirate Council. Not only that, Makama leads any daba that the Emir will have. The Makama is the one in front, in the forefront. So the role, it's really an advisory role to His Highness the Emir, as well as a custodian of the tradition of the Emirate.
MashaAllah. Being a custodian of the tradition of the Emirate, and here we have a very rich heritage, one of the most revered in Africa, per se. What is your view of the balkanization of Emirates into four? Is it a progressive one in general?
Obviously, anything that will bring the tradition closer to our people is positive. And the way I look at the creation of the additional emirates in Kano is, to me, of course, it's the wish of Allah, but at the same time, it's something that is positive for our society. You can see the development that is now going on in Bichi, and you compare Bichi when it had no emir. So obviously, this is a very positive development. The other issue is also that the people, our people, they really revere their emirs. And therefore, the more you bring the emirs closer to them, the more you are likely to have their full support and cooperation, and subsequently the government of the day will have the cooperation of its people.
What was the pulse of the emirate when here is a son of the president from Daura, meeting a princess in Kano, and suddenly they are coming together to get married? What was the pulse of the emirate? What was the reaction? How was it?
Obviously, the emirate is very excited and very happy. And mind you, both the boy and the girl, they met abroad when they were all students, and therefore it was a relationship that was developed during the time of studentship. And obviously, as some of us know, any relationship developed while you are a student, in most cases, is the one that lasts better. And therefore, we in the emirate, we are very happy that the son of our president feels it wise to select his wife from among us. And
a mistake when we call you a father of the bride and groom to be. So as a father, to these upcoming couples, what kind of advice do you have for them in order to be able to live a blissful and fulfilled marital life together?
Obviously, I always have advice to brides and grooms because I have gone through the process so many times. So for the bride, of course, my advice is that she should be obedient to her husband, she should be faithful, and she should respect the norms of marriage. For the groom, his own is to be benevolent, be kind to his wife, take his wife like his own property, that he should keep her to the best of her living, and he should ensure that she is always comforted as much as he can within his means.
Let's go back to progress and development of tradition. What is your view of the future of traditional institution in Nigeria as a whole, considering the fact that there are being calls for a constitutional recognition of traditional institutions and mandates given to them in order to be able to enhance their current standing? What is your take on it, sir?
You see, I'm a believer in the fact that traditional institution is part and parcel of our society. Therefore, whatever we shall do to encourage and enhance it, we should do so. And you can see that these days is not the illiterates who take traditional titles. I will give you a typical example of myself. I mean, I have all the qualifications you can think of in terms of Western education, in terms of religious education, but nonetheless, because the traditional institution is my heritage, I did not hesitate to take it when it was offered to me, and this was partly because of the respect I have for it. And not only that, I believe we need to give the traditional institution probably a specific role in our constitution. This will ensure security and good governance at the local level.
If this has been going on for long and we are still witnessing some form of insecurity in some parts of our northern region, I would like your own personal opinion on this as an individual, not
it is unfortunate that in the north we have this issue of insecurity, and it started slowly with the likelihood of Boko Haram, and subsequently now it has spread to become what we call banditry or what we call kidnapping. These were all new things really. When I was a child, these were not part of the architecture of our livelihood. My advice, to be honest with you, I'm not a military man, I'm purely a civil one, an economist by profession, but I believe we can do more to ensure our by advising that, look, take each local government or each emirate, create a specific military or security platoon specifically to cater for peace in that area. Equip them, ensure that they know in and out of the area, and they can pursue anybody deep into any forest or any corner within that local government. In that respect, you can easily eliminate the insecurity within that local government. And if you multiply it by the number of local governments you have, each.
So all roads leads to Bichi tomorrow, and I'm sure soon the focus of the world will be on Bichi. So I think our readers would like to know more about Bichi, especially developmental strides that is being undertaken, particularly by the current emirate.
We had hospital in each emirate capital. They are doing all the road networks within. If you go to Bichi now, you will see the road network they are constructing with good drainage and everything. And then they are creating opportunities of employment to young people. They are bringing all kinds of trainings and things like that, which will help the young people within the emirate. You can see today we had a lecture, and during that lecture, some young people were given certificate having done an intensive program on ICT. And these are the sort of things which will help us to develop Bichi Emirate.
Yeah. Mashallah, this shows that the emirate is also trying to, understand the dynamics and current trends of the world in order to.
Of course, that is true.
What legacy would you like to be remembered for as Makaman Bichi?
Very interesting. There is no legacy better than yourself. I will leave a legacy of myself, of what I am, but I have two fundamental things which I always hold high to. Number one, I always want to be honest. Number two, whatever I do, I want to be hard worker. I want to work hard to achieve that goal. Those two things are fundamental to me.
MashaAllah. And now let's go to the Emir of Bichi. Finally, what message do you have for him, and what goodwill message do you have for him as he takes his staff of office tomorrow?
Well, for the Emir of Bichi, Ransariki Yadade, I congratulate him for reaching this milestone of becoming the second Emir of Bichi, a first-class Emir. And I hope this is a sign that he is following the footsteps of his great-grandparents, and this, I think, is the wish of every child, and I wish him many, many more years and wish him good health.